Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection. Today we've got 5 under 5. These are 5 watches under $5,000 from the Strong Horology group. And the Strong Horology group tend to be two types of watches. Probably the most common type are what's called a sports watch. And the other type is what I'll call the office watch. In other words, it's the kind of watch that's not really dressy. It's a good functional watch, and yet it's strong horology. It's not anything else. Okay, so what we're going to start with is this Rolex. Now the color of the Rolex with a grape dial and red hour markers may be a little too much for some. I think for about $100 more, you can get one of these with a blue or another kind of more neutral color than purple. But I wanted to keep it under $5,000, and this is one I found brand new. By the way, all of these are brand new prices for them, and most of them are from your secondary markets, all right, or secondary dealers. And this Rolex Oyster Perpetual, it is a sort of a cool watch. I mean, I know most people aren't going to go for the grape color, and that's understandable. But I sort of like it. And let's see, it's $46.95. And I found this on Joma Shop. In fact, most of these I found on Joma Shop because they have a lot of watches that are sort of overflow, what I call overflow watches. They couldn't sell them somewhere else, and so they end up with them. But they're brand new. Okay, the next one. Oh, by the way, too, this one. The thing that's important about this, and the reason I ended up with grape, is that it's 39 millimeters. I thought that was a good size. Now, most of them under 5,000 were 36 millimeters. And you may prefer a 36 millimeter, and you have a lot bigger selection with the 36 millimeter, or even smaller than that if you'd like. But I thought, well, for this kind of watch, 39 millimeter would probably be a good size. It's not one of the great big 45 millimeters or anything like that, but it's a good size for that. The next one is one that is, to me, almost the perfect office watch. In other words, it's the kind of watch you wear to work. It's a nice looking watch. It doesn't it's different. It doesn't look like every other watch that's going to be at work. And it has a number of features that I like. It has, as a Nomos, the price on this particular one is $37.80. It has the Nomos swing system, and this swing system is an in-house escapement system that includes the balance wheel and the escapement and the other parts that go into that. And so it's very much a true in-house movement on this. The caliber on it it's called DUW 4401. Okay, so this is for Nomos Glashütte. And it has something that I really like, and that is a power reserve indicator. It's that little blue-green circle up there with the red in it, and it tells you how much wine you left. And it's got a good size date window at the bottom, so it's the kind of watch you can look at. It's got a lot of information, and it's a wind-up. I prefer wind-ups over automatics, but that's me. That's because I like the watches. Okay, the next one is a Seamaster Planet Ocean, and this particular one is under 5,000. It's this particular one was on sale for $4,650. It's a coaxial, which is an important thing that you want to have, and it has the 8900 movement. Now the 8900 is a fully in-house movement from Omega. The Seamaster, and this one has a date. It's got the only thing about this that I don't particularly care for is the small date window. And it's got those great big fat hands. It's easy to tell the time with. This is a nice everyday watch. This would work in the office and, you know, for an informal date and things like that. And it has the coaxial movement in it, which is the designed by George Daniels, and this adds it adds a feature to it that gives it a horologically decent part to it, something that adds to the horology of it. And I selected the blue one. They have them in white and some different colors like that, but I like the blue on blue, and especially in a watch named Planet Ocean. So I thought this was a good buy, and again under $5,000. By the way, all of the ones that I'm showing you have in-house movements, and I felt that was important. If you're talking about strong horology, you want to have an in-house movement. And I'll tell you a story about that in a second. Okay, the next one is Chronograph. It's the El Primero Sports Chronograph. Now this one is a dynamite watch, and it goes for this particular one. Again, I found these are all most of them I found at Joma Shop. This one goes for $4,750, under $5,000. But this is an excellent watch. This is a really good one. And like I said, it's got a chronograph in it, and it's got a clean enough dial. Sometimes chronographs get so busy you can't tell the time with it. This one you can. It has sort of the paddle style hands, so there's nothing fancy. It's very functional. About the fanciest thing that there is a star counterbalance on the timer hand, that big red timer hand they have. Okay, this one I like a lot. This has got an excellent movement in the El Primero. The date window could be bigger, but it's not one of those little bitty ones. And you also have the tachometer readings around beneath the bezel there. Now the final one is one that I happen to have, and I strongly recommend it. This is a harboring to Felix. Now Felix is the in-house movement that Richard Harbring designed, and it's a true in-house movement, and by that I mean it's not sort of a fixed up movement from somebody else, but it's a true in-house movement. And this is a very nice watch. Now it's obviously not a sports watch, but it's a good everyday watch, a great office watch. When I went on a cruise, it was the one I always took off the ship with me because I didn't want to miss the ship in case it left. This one has the most reliable, most accurate time to it. Excellent movement in it. The other thing, and it's almost ironic. I mean, a $4,500 watch is nothing to sneeze at. But I mean, most people, you know, they take a look at that. They don't know that from Adam's odd ox. So if you wear a Harbring 2, the people who know. In other words, other watch collectors say, hey, that's quite a watch you got there. But a thief won't. Okay. But another thing about Harbring 2 is the new price is great. It's under $5,000. I think it's around $45,000, and not in that area. There are only a couple, in the United States, there are only a couple dealerships, but you can order it directly from Austria. It's an Austrian watch. And it won the Grand Prix d'Horologie for the Petite Aiguille Award back in 2015. Great watch. Great watch. And this would be my highest recommendation. Excuse me. Now, one thing that I had found, and I got all excited about, one of the watches on my list is Chronos Swiss. And I saw Chronos Swiss at the Watch Time show in New York about a month ago. And I saw the watches. They're nice looking watches. And I found a Chronos Swiss that had been $14,300. And this is a brand new one. And it was on sale for $42.99. I thought, wow, now this would be great. It's got a 40 millimeter case. And on top of that, it was solid 18 karat gold. Now, you don't find too many solid gold watches for $42.99. So I thought, well, hey, this is great. The caliber was 281. The problem is that Chronos Smith basically either uses it without much modification or only slight modification. It uses ETAs 2892s A2 or Solita 300. And I thought, no, that's not in-house. I don't care how you try to twist it. Now, I know Harboring 2 had some ETAs they used. I think they used some Valjus with some things. But they had those things so tweaked and fixed up that they won a Grand Prix award with one of them. So it's like I said, it is in getting into your strong horology, you've got to be, I mean, if you want a good solid in-house movement, there's no sense in paying $5,000, in my opinion, for a cheap movement. There really isn't. The Chronos Swiss comes pretty close because you got a solid gold case, but that's the only reason I could say. I was very disappointed when I found out that just about all of their calibers are from ETA or Solita. But that's their business plan. That's what they want to do. Okay, so here you got 5 watches with in-house movements, strong horology, and like I said, these tend to be sports watches or office watches, and they're good solid watches, and I think you can get great deals with this. I mean, I think that's a great deal. Now, before, when we looked at high horology into that, we didn't have as many choices. Here you got a lot more choices, but unfortunately, some of those choices are not the kind of movement that you want to have in your watch. So keep an eye out for that. All right. As usual, I really enjoy hearing what your comments are, and usually when I have something like that, someone will say, oh, hey, how come you didn't have this watch or that watch? Probably the reason was that there are other watches. I was thinking, well, what about a Tudor? I could have added a Tudor. There are a lot of other ones they could have added, but these I thought were the best choices. And one thing, I guess this was sort of playing against Tudor. I wanted to have different brands, and Tudor is owned by Rolex, and that looked a little close. But anyway, so I would include Tudor in this list in a heartbeat. So if you want to take a look at one of the Black Bays or something like that, that I think would be another good buy. Okay, invitation to subscribe if you like. And until next Friday, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.